I was living in a small neighborhood in Vancouver called Kitsilano, and we had this bookstore there, the oldest bookstore in Vancouver. I was just 2 blocks away from it. Every time something get itchy, I was running into the bookstore looking for something,
Looking for the answers, the seeking.
looking for the answers instead of sitting in it. Sit in the pain will give you all the answers.
That's the
Or
hardest things to do, though, isn't it? That's the thing we're
yes,
bypassing or running from.
yes.
Hey, it's Katryn, and welcome back to the show. Have you ever wondered about the dark side of healers? The difference between spirituality and sexuality, and why are people in the healing space horny and having accusations thrown at them? Today, we're going to riff on this topic with my good friend and fellow healer, Fatih Turan. Fatih, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. This is a fascinating topic. It's a serious issue, especially for people who have backgrounds with sexual abuse. Is there something you want to say to open us up on this topic?
Yes, yes. While I was studying in Germany naturopathic psychotherapy in 2017 till 2019, I talked to my teacher and she told me every time she works with a client for a longer period of time and they slowly starts to open up, slowly, carefully, to 80%, everyone ends up with sexual issues. That is one of the really deep, dark core issues. It's connected to shame. It's connected to sexual abuse in the lineage. Because every woman has something, some experience with some sexual assault, being touched by a man, being abused, raped. In every lineage, there is something. Imagine when we go 7 generations back, there are over 256 individuals. Half of them are women. So over 100. And if everyone tells you something about their life, you would be shocked. And now imagine how many women are there, which does not mean we inherit everything from everyone, but we definitely inherit something that is deep and dark because that wants to be healed. And it will hit the healer in the family to solve, to break this generational pattern of sexual abuse.
So that's interesting that you say that. It is more prevalent among women, but men have been sexually abused. As you were speaking, you reminded me of a healer that I know who had other healers tell her that she had probably been sexually abused. She said, "No, I have not." And we had gone down ancestral healing rabbit holes. And to your point, she had realized at some point that she was carrying other people's energy that wasn't hers, and it was manifesting in certain behaviors or thought patterns, but she had never actually had the physical experience, but someone in her lineage did, and it was affecting her.
Yes.
Do you think that's a common thing, or is that just an anomaly?
It's common because people sleep with each other without being aware of what kind of damaging consequences it has. And especially as a healer, and I know this for a fact, we will inherit something that is connected to sexual abuse. And the way you realize it is you're going to attract people who reflect something back at you. Or you get into these tricky situations where you see a sexual act and you feel this deep pain within yourself, this deep shame, even though you have nothing to do with it, but it triggers something, a memory within you. So I would say it's a common thing for healers and shamans to
Okay.
experience such a thing.
To experience carrying that energy, even if it's not their experience. Okay.
Yes.
When people do have that, whether it's the energy or the actual experience, how can someone really begin to release that energy or emotions? I know, and even for myself, the talk therapy really only takes you so far. It only took me so far. It didn't work. And I have found sometimes when we talk about something, it brings the energy of the pain back. How can we move beyond that? How do we recognize it? And how do we know the person or the healer is safe to do this work with?
You will never know. But there will be a trust. There's something which the healer embodies, this nurturing Even men could be in their feminine energy while they're doing the healing work. And you're going to feel it deep within. I can open up because its energy allows you to be vulnerable. But how do you become aware of it? Whether you will experience something to bring awareness, there's something within you, or you could use your intuition and awareness, like, why do I attract these kind of situations? And before you have this bad experience, you pull back. And I need to find the core issue. That's where I would say ancestral work starts, how to overcome it. While the healing process is, to be honest, it's not easy. I worked with a Mexican woman from Canada who was abused when she was 7 years old. We worked for 3 months intense,
Okay.
and she was married and never enjoyed the sexual intercourse with her husband. After the 3 months, she opened up. She felt safe again with her husband. So it takes lots of energy work, and we search for the core issue. We take back these layers, and every layer needs another kind of trust. She trusted me a lot, and we get these layers out till we find the core issue, and we worked on that intensely. And then slowly it just vanished out of the body.
When you speak of the core issue, is it the wounding that happened to her or someone like her, for example, in this lifetime? Or is it wounding that she was carrying that wasn't her direct experience? Or is it sometimes both?
We are so mystical beings. We are very complex. I would love to give you one answer, but it's almost impossible. I heard Bashar say, nothing will be shown to us if it's not within our existence. We carry this stuff. I'm pretty sure, and I'm convinced it is inherited abuse out of their lineage. Otherwise, why would healers call, I'm the generational curse breaker of the family? There's a reason for it, why they call it.
Yeah.
It's generational curse. It's the genetic, epigenetic, which we inherit as healers.
Okay.
So it is a memory that no one could heal, or no one wants to have this painful experiencing to feel it and release it out of their lineage. If you don't do that, you're going to attract continuously people who are going to trigger the same core issue.
Okay.
And the worst of all is you're not taking responsibility. It's like you never will discover why God created you. What is your blueprint, without taking the responsibility and going through this pain, because pain changes a person. It makes you mature, more confident, also as a healer.
I would add a caveat to that. The pain does that if we work with it. If we just suppress it or deny it, it doesn't always have that effect. Is that fair enough to say?
Yes.
Let me ask you another question. You brought up healers, and let's focus on healers for a minute. In my experience, and I've been one, there are many wounded healers walking the planet because they're called, the blueprint is called to break the curses, to bring more light, to do the work. Oftentimes comes with having gone through traumatic experiences. You also said to me when I asked, how do we know if the healer is safe? You're like, we don't. There's no 100% certainty. So if that's the case, and someone's really struggling with first chakra safety issues because of what they've been through,
Yes.
what do they do to take the next step so that they're not subject to some of the darker side of what happens occasionally in the healing world? What is a person to do?
I believe there's a core wound, but I know we won't get right away to the core issue. There are layers to it.
Okay.
We're layering it back, one layer after the next. You heal something, something else shows up. It's like peeling an onion. It's the perfect example in the spiritual community. You peel it, getting used to it. And when the time is ready, some truth will come and you become aware of it and you will know it. But it will show only then when you're psychologically, spiritually, emotionally ready to face this thing. It could be really deep and dark. You don't know it. And I can tell you stories about it.
Tell me a story, Fatih. Tell me a story.
I lived all my life being rejected. At 43, I learned the truth. I have to rebuild my life from scratch again. Everyone is carrying some dark truth, and people are afraid of facing it because it will hurt you really bad. And unconsciously, every healer knows it. But I just pretend I'm happy. Don't ignore yourself. We all have this kind of truth within us, many of them. All of a sudden, you realize, oh my God. But you know what? I felt this intense, sharp pain.
Okay.
But after a few minutes, I felt this warmth, this calm within myself, because I know that was the core issue. And I cracked the code. That's what I was looking for. Till that time, I studied all the modalities that I offer. I learned so much about healing. Now I cracked the code, and it shifted my life. It was the tipping point where now I see myself as a healer, as a young shaman, as a guide and teacher. I accepted that about myself after I found out what the core issue is. But now I have to restructure and rebuild my life and ask myself, Katryn, to be honest, who I would have been if I didn't experience that. I wouldn't be a healer because there's nothing to search for. I'm rebuilding my life again from scratch. I forgive everyone. I knew instantly that was God's plan. It was in my soul's to bring me on this path and guide me through this process.
Did you just have that instantaneous knowing inside that this is truth, or do you have to dig around? Does it feel a certain way? Shine a little light on that.
You will know it. It will hurt you bad. You're going to feel like you have been betrayed by the closest person in your life. It will break your heart. It will hurt. But the heart needs to be broken open. That's the thing. And then you can't stop this process. You lay down in bed, dark night of the soul. There's nothing to hold on. You can't just grab into it and try to hug your heart. It's a very painful process, but you will know it. It's going to feel intense, sharp. You feel betrayed by God, by the universe, by your family, by everything. It's like God threw us into this beautiful illusion where he knows we're going to be betrayed, heartbroken, go to the gravel, bring yourself out.
So do you recommend that someone, when they're going through that process or that dark night of the soul and they feel the betrayals and all the emotions, do they just sit with it and breathe through it? Do they move through it? What do you suggest? How do you work with people?
It's how I'm laughing about it right now because it was a difficult time. I was living in a small neighborhood in Vancouver called Kitsilano, and we had this bookstore there, the oldest bookstore in Vancouver. I was just 2 blocks away from it. Every time something get itchy, I was running into the bookstore looking for something.
Looking for the answers, the seeking.
Looking for the answers instead of sitting in it. Sit in the pain will give you all the answers.
That's the
Well,
hardest things to do, though, isn't it? That's the thing we're
Yes.
bypassing or running from,
Yes.
adjusting ourselves to others, like sitting in it.
Yes, sit in it. Use the energy in a feminine way and sit in it. But then the fight or flight comes in and we get active. And then we use the energy in a masculine way to run away. Sitting in it, Joe Dispenza talked about it. It's going to feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
That's going to feel you pass out. You can't stop this process. And if you try to stop it, you block the self-love, your self-worth, because the self-worth comes from within, but it wants to crack open and come through. It's not an easy task to do that. It's painful. And that is one of the reasons why there's so much spiritual bypassing going on. Hey, I found a new technique. without feeling the pain, without taking responsibility. Folks, stop fooling around with yourself. No, pain is an important thing. And the energy of healers are very powerful. Like, we are very powerful beings, especially our sexual energy, but we use it in the wrong way.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes.
How is a healer using their sexual energy in a wrong way? Can you give me some examples of that to make it concrete for people?
Okay. The sexual energy is the most powerful energy within us, but we don't know how to use it, because within the sacral chakra, there are also memories from what we did, ancestors, sexual abuse, financial issues. Some of your ancestors had creative blockages. It will pass down. And now, if you want to get access to the sexual energy, we need to get into it and do the healing work to clear it out. When we clear it out, we can use the root lock, this where we squeeze the muscles, pelvic floor, and we can pump this energy up through the pineal gland, and then use this energy for healing or visualization or manifesting. But the sexual energy is so intense. We don't know how to use it because it requires lots of responsibility and celibacy. If you're not celibate, and when it comes to intent, the energy gets stuck there. Where attention goes, the energy is there. You will have intense sexual thoughts.
Okay.
And spiritual community is full of these people because they work with these energies. But
And is
if
it
they use,
confusing because not everyone really understands what that energy actually is? When I hear you talking and I think of sexual energy and second chakra, it's really our life force energy that's coming up. It's not just about having sex, right? It's that force that moves through us and gives us that radiance and lights us up. So, in my experience or interpretation of it, some people may be misinterpreting what that energy is or what the person's intention is when they see someone lit up like that. Make sense?
yeah, because spirituality and sexuality goes hand in hand. And there's lots of sexual activities in spiritual communities behind closed doors. I can give you examples. Bikram's yoga. Have you heard of him?
I used to do a lot of Bikram yoga years
Me
ago.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. But it came out, he slept with maybe hundreds of women. And I tell them, it takes two to tango.
Agreed.
Because
What's the underlying energy in something like that? What's going on?
if people don't have energy, let's say they have a dark energy, they are attracted to healers because of the sexual energy, want to drain them. That's why it's, if you're a healer and spiritual teacher, for example, you have strong sexual energy, and you will attract people into your life who just want to get this light, get this energy out of you, suck you dry.
Is it because they don't know how to generate the life force energy within themselves? Why are they drawn to
Because
wanting it?
they because they don't want to heal. They don't want to take responsibility. You have the same energy. Everyone has the same energy.
Right.
But because of these traumas, they don't want to get into the pain and feel it. They would rather go someone and take the energy from them. How do you call it? Succubus or incubus? This Jezebel spirit?
Food. Let's talk about that. We're going to bounce around a little. I'd never heard that phrase before, the Jezebel spirit. Can you, for people who like me who aren't familiar with that, can you explain the concept?
The Jezebel spirit. We're getting into a topic which people should talk about it, because they're entities, jinns. In Islam, we call it the jinns, these entities. Now, if a person was sexually abused in their childhood, whether man or woman, they have the tendency to, their aura is broken, their energetic field is broken, they have been traumatized, the frequency is low, and the entities enter into their body and use them as a vessel. That's where people say when the narcissist's eye turns completely black, you can feel if people are demonic or not.
So is
You can,
that the Jezebel energy, the demonic
yes,
energy? Or
because you have a soul within yourself. We have a soul, okay? And the soul wants light, love, this nurturing stuff. But when you have this dark energy within yourself, something else operates through you. And the best place to get these energies are spiritual communities. Not all of them, but most of them.
Okay.
You're going to feel intense sexual tension. And that has a dangerous part to it. It's very dangerous. Be very careful who you sleep with. They can infest you with this demonic stuff, with this Jezebel spirit. They can give you an incurable STD or even AIDS. And people die from it. Look, if you sleep with a person, you will be bound to them for minimum of 7 years. Imagine 7 years minimum. Some say it's lifelong. The man leave their DNA within their womb and lots of other things. The dangerous part is, what if this person has a karma, unsolved trauma?
So then if you've had sexual relations with them, you're absorbing their energy, right? And
Yes,
karma or this imprint
yes.
might not even be your own. And you're carrying this energy unconsciously.
When a person sleeps with a person, just randomly, one night stand, you're going to feel instantly shift, and you are not you anymore. All of a sudden, you have different thoughts. Whatever you were seeing, as if something has shifted, the timeline, the dimension. You're not you anymore. Something else operates through you, and it will guide you to the next sexual activity, to the next sexual level. It's a trap.
Interesting.
And when you are trapped in it, it's very difficult to come out of it. Very difficult. Because when you start to heal, you have this feeling of shame, guilt. You have all these energy cords that you won't release like that.
Right.
It's going to take years till you clear these energies out. And that's where celibacy comes into play.
Okay.
And when you want to remain celibate, you should use this sexual energy in a positive way. Don't let it store up. It will drive you crazy.
What does someone do with that energy, or how do they use it? Can you give me an example for someone listening?
Yes, you can use this root lock, this pumping this energy through your chakras, through your spine, and move this energy away from your reproductive system or organ back into your body. You can use this energy in a creative way, painting, drawing, writing. Let the creativity out. You can visualize, you can manifest things in a positive way. And that will raise your frequency. Like the sexual energy can bring you into the pits of hell, or it can bring you up into heaven.
So it's not about denying the energy. It's just not suppressing it or not using it in unhealthy ways. What I'm hearing you say is channeling it, using the energy to your benefit or the benefit of humanity,
Yes.
or however you want to do it. If we just suppress it.
It's going to manifest in unhealthy ways.
Okay.
Albert Einstein said energy can't be destroyed. Healers should be masters of energy manipulation and constantly aware and knowing this energy constantly comes and I should use it. If we don't use it, it creates these blockages within our chakras, within our system. And all of a sudden you feel heavy. You feel depressed. It's like we are depressing ourselves. Using this energy is very beneficial. Don't try to block it. Don't try to release it with someone you just met. Very careful, especially for healers, because healers will be tested a lot, especially in sexual things.
Yeah.
That's because everyone wants to have an intimate partner. I assume most people.
Most people
And
do. They're looking for that
yes,
healing, that partnership, that love. It's not
yes,
about the sex, but that connection, that human connection that drives so many of us.
yes. We are here to find your soulmate, but you don't know. You could meet someone and looks external, does spiritual work, and you think it's all good, and all of a sudden you have sex with them, and boom, the mask fell off.
Disaster.
Disaster. And we all have experienced that. Come on, let's be honest. It's we need to talk about these things. I will give people a chance to talk about it, not overlap it, think positive. No, let's talk about the real life experiences. You slept with people, I slept with people. But some people are super disciplined. They know what's going on. Some people are so interesting. It's like they have such high consciousness. I love these people. You look at them, they know something. Something is going. They are so aware of it. They are very authentic. And authenticity, it's a beautiful thing. Let's say you met someone, both spiritual by incense, crystals together, and then you have sex with them. And all of a sudden, it's like you feel something is fishy here. Or you feel
Yeah. And are
it's,
people feeling that more because their energy has been so intertwined?
what do you mean?
Because when someone's been intimate, your energy
Yes.
is really meshed. So are you feeling it more because of that? Or now your guard's down?
Your guards are down, the energies are intermingled. You
Okay.
feel her emotions, she feels your emotions. It becomes telepathic, energetic bond.
Okay.
And when one gets angry, the other gets triggered, no matter where you are. When one gets horny, the other one can feel it. It's a strong magnetic thing, especially the intimacy between an empath and narcissist is very intense. It's very intense and there are no boundaries.
When someone finds themselves in a situation like you just described, when you've had that convergence and you've had that intimacy, but then you have the feeling like, oh, something's amiss. Now what? That you've already taken on aspects of their energies. I know what I do for working with people, but what do you do?
Even people, for example, who been together for years, they get married and a few months after the marriage, it could happen. So it could happen to anyone. It's like some truth just caught you off guard where you say, oh my God, I'm in the middle of a storm. How did that happen? How do I get out of it now? And that's the challenge because you will never know the other person 100%. It's impossible. There's always shadow aspects.
What does a person do for themselves, though? Is that when they go into more introspection or energy work? Or some people ignore the nagging feeling, whatever it is, and just blinders on, keep moving forward.
You better become aware of it and start energy work and then tell yourself, I'm not going to repeat that because I attracted this person to reflect something back at me. So there's a core wound from both sides, right? And both are not aware of it. But through this action, you become aware of it.
Okay.
So maybe it's not a bad thing that you bumped into a narcissistic person.
Right. Oh, I
Maybe
agree in the sense that there's always something to learn from an interaction.
it's-
What is the lesson? What is the gift? Let's not make the interaction bad or someone shouldn't have done that. Whatever happened, how do I move forward?
yes,
How do I learn
that's,
from it?
yes. It's like you have experienced it. You felt it was not good, but you're in it right now. I did a mistake, which is okay. I do everything to not repeat it. So I'm going to pull my energy back. I'm going to introspect. I'm going to take responsibility and look at the root cause issue, and I'm going to change it within myself. And when you change it, you take distance from your old behavior and you become the observer of the old version of yourself. You see your old version at a distance. And that's how you learn. You make a mistake, you learn out of it, you pull your energy back, do your healing work, and do everything to not jump into something that fast again. It could
So
happen again.
one of the threads that I'm hearing from you is discipline. Self-discipline
Yes.
is important. And that's not energy that someone doesn't understand. That's conscious choice, responsibility. I've heard you use that word a lot. So real world choices, right? It comes down to choices.
Yes.
Okay.
What I do right now, I think long term, I have long term goals and I break them down. And if I sense when God is testing me or the universe is testing me, I'm going to look within myself, but still we're going to do mistakes. Many people are married several times and they say, I attracted 3 narcissists. I was married to 3 narcissists and all divorced. Now they're afraid to getting into a relationship. There's a core wound. I'm going to be very honest right now.
Okay.
Okay, look, every single person is their own narcissist, actually. We
Okay.
do it to ourselves unconsciously. When you look into a reflection and you tell that person is a narcissist, you look into your mirror, there's something within you which I don't want to look at. I don't want to take responsibility for it, which means I'm abandoning myself and step out into the world. And the first thing I'm going to bump into is a narcissist who will reflect everything back at me, what I have done to myself.
Are you saying that then it's important to do some of the work, that shadow work, and look at where we have our own narcissistic tendencies
Yes. Yes.
and where we also are likely, if we're attracting that energy, you said highly empathic, where is our wounding around that as well? Because where are they coming in, right? It's not one or the other. It sounds like it's both.
Yes, it's both. The empath, who is the healer, so to say, you're the empath. You will inherit 100% abandonment from your lineage. I'm convinced, I know this. You will inherit some sexual abuse stuff. We inherit the most difficult, tragic, ancestral traumas. But God gave you also the strength to overcome it. Because if you want to be a healer, if you're a shaman, heal that. The experience will show you how to bring other people out of it. But if you don't heal it, you can't help anyone.
There is a strong lived experience component to this work. It's not just book study.
It's heavy work. And you know what? The narcissist could be a blessing for a person. Because the narcissist pushed me into my spiritual journey. Well, congratulations. Why didn't you do it by yourself? Look at the narcissist as a teacher.
I've had a few of those, and not necessarily romantic one. I've had a few narcissist interactions. And I remember one was a woman I worked for many years ago when I was newer in this industry, over a decade ago. And I actually said to her, "You are a narcissist." And she's like, "Why don't you put up the mirror, sister?" She's like, "If you're seeing it in me, there's that element in you might want to look at." Eventually I did. I had to look at it. So it's not always romantic partners. It can be any type of relationship. We talked in another episode about energy and attracting energies. We were talking masculine, feminine, not gender. Anyone can show us this energy inside of ourselves, this archetype, this pattern. I don't know what your experience is, that many people resist or don't want to look at these aspects of themselves. It's easier to just point the finger at the other person. Why do you think so many people don't want to take ownership or responsibility for their own energy part of it? It's not about blaming anyone for anything.
Because it will break your ego. Jordan Peterson once said, everyone is full of snakes. We just master in putting mask after mask. We don't want to look at these things. When you overcome these shadowy stuff, you can't judge anything ever again. You must be completely neutral. And through this process, to this breaking of the ego, your heart opens up and you see everything the way it is without judgment, which would be the Christ consciousness. Stop complaining about the narcissist. You're looking into your own reflection. We want to see ourselves as pure, innocent like a dove. No, man, we have a shadow side. Carl Jung has said can grow into heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. And in hell, there's a devil within us. The evil is within us. Don't look for an enemy outside. The enemy is within. It's all comes down to responsibility. We don't want to take responsibility because when they take it, they're going to stop complaining and they start to reflect and see, I was my own worst enemy my entire life.
That's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, myself included.
That's a red pill.
But that's where the truth lies, right? And the freedom.
Yes, that's the truth. And the truth is painful. I don't know which author quoted it. The truth makes you feel absolutely miserable, but then it sets you free. You're wrong. I was wrong all my life. God was right. this surrendering of something. I have no control. I was blaming other people without being aware of I'm talking to myself. And all these stuff that will catch you in a cage as if you're coming back into the womb. And when you accept this part, it's like you are reborn again. It's difficult to explain this process, but I encourage anyone, stop complaining about the narcissist. You give your power away. You're speaking narcissist into your life, but constantly talking about it.
Do you think that's true of many things? If we continue to complain or talk about a story, that we're just keeping the energy of it alive.
Yes.
And it's not to say for someone who's been through something and they've kept it inside and never spoken about it that they shouldn't. There's a time and a place to speak about things. But if you're in the trap, I love how you use the word trap, the trap of always just continue
Yes.
to talk about something. We keep that energy alive. What would you say to someone who has experienced dark trauma, horrific things, who oftentimes do carry shame because of it? How would they start to shift the story, the narrative, or the pain to begin to find freedom?
To be honest, some people will never heal
Why is
be-
that?
because they identified themselves with something which they are not, but that's all they know since they were born, since something happened, this trauma. Like in this small village where I grew up in Germany, I had a neighbor. She was 84. Her name was Mariana. And every time there was a storm or thunder, she had this one bag where she put all her paperwork, and she was coming to our place out of fear. All the important documents in one bag. And when there was thunderstorm or something, she was afraid alone. She was coming to our place to stay out. She talked a lot about the Second World War. Katryn, it's what she have experienced. When she starts to talk about it, she starts to cry every time. It was too intense what happened to them. Poverty, starving, illnesses, no support, nothing. You could see it in her eyes. She never overcame this trauma, but she did. She was a strong Christian. Jesus helped me through this process. That's what she said. And you could see it.
Yeah.
You could see it in your eyes. It's like this fear, this trauma brought her closer to God, to her creator, whoever she believed in. Sometimes I think maybe these traumas are really beneficial for life.
And that's a huge paradigm shift for people to see the gifted aspect in it. It took me decades. And sometimes I still question and wonder, is that just all BS that there's a gift in the trauma? But when we can shift our perspective, I find that in and of itself can sometimes be healing.
Yes. How do you know when you have experienced it? How do you know what this one trauma prevented you from lots of different damages?
Right. We don't know.
We don't know.
Don't know.
We know nothing. Like our awareness is less than 1%. Imagine, less than 1%. We know nothing. That's why the entire spiritual work is unknown, is unconscious.
Right.
What we can use is our intuition, reflection, awareness, and all our senses to go through this life. But what is happening underneath in all these layers, we have no idea.
You work with some of the layers. You work with ancestral healing. You do other energy work. You do chakra work, psychic surgery. You help people through different energetic layers, release it, move through it, just accept or deal with it. This concept of the paradigm shift, I want to sit with that for a minute. Not everybody comes to that awareness that there could be a reason or a different layer. And one of the layers in my experience that I've learned, we choose these experiences before we incarnate here. We decided we would go through this, and then we came to Earth to experience this. That school of thought, do you believe in that at all, or do you debunk it? Where are you on that spectrum?
Yes, We live in an unjust world. Where is the justice for the trauma that is caused to a child? Where is the justice? It's not. There is no justice. And many people who hold on these traumas, there's an internal holding on. This, I don't want to let go of this trauma, because when I let go, I'm going to feel like a loser.
Do you think we chose these experiences when we're
Yes.
in spirit or soul before we come or are born? Do we choose our parents? Do we choose some of these traumas? Or is that just garbage?
I know from Islamic mysticism,
Okay.
God has chosen our mother as a test for us, because everything enters through the mother.
Oh God, my poor kids.
That's, I was doing this ancestral work for years now, and I said, yes, that's right. Because all the ancestral stuff comes through the mother, through her womb, into her belly while she's pregnant with us. And we inherit all this ancestral stuff. And then we are born into this illusion, and it's everything is reflecting back at us what our ancestors have experienced. So we are repeating these patterns. See, I'm so in this mode right now. Whatever God chose for me, that's my perspective. Some people say your soul chose it. I say,
Right.
Because the soul does not belong to me, it belongs to God. I can't say my soul. It's not my soul, it's God's. So who chose it when the I does not exist? Someone has chosen it. So God has chosen, created this blueprint and tossed you into his dysfunctional family, because it knows when you come through it, you become the blueprint. You become the true expression of God. While going through this burning, painful process, it's going to boil you, and you come out of it. And when you come out of it, it's as if nothing has happened in the past. It's like just gone. But there you stand in your full glow, and you say, I'm grateful for whatever happened. I don't hold on anymore. And that's where the complete release comes. That was all the process. So I believe God chose it. Others say your soul chose it. So I say God, Allah chose my mother for me as a test. And all roads lead us back to the divine feminine mother. That's the best answer I can give.
That's cool. I was just curious because I think sometimes there's so many different perspectives in the spiritual world about all of these topics that we've talked today. I think it helps for people looking for a healer or a guide or a coach to feel more comfortable or get that inner hit that, oh, this is the person that could help me unlock this next piece if they resonate. I know for myself, when someone has had such a drastic, different philosophy, it was harder to work with, or it was harder to trust the energy. I didn't get as much done. Does that make sense? There was too much of a disconnect and that lack of safety.
Definitely, you're going to work with lots of healers in your lifetime. And some
Yeah.
of them are good, some beneficial, some are bad, really bad in what they're doing, because you don't know, because they're full of traumas themselves and they don't know how to overcome it. And I'm pretty sure you had this weird experiences with different healers. Through this process, you get to know yourself, you get to know humanity and what kind of cruel world we actually live if you don't use your intelligence and your awareness. So don't be just light and love. If you need to face something difficult, you should be pulling out your weapon and, okay, I'm capable of the same stuff you're capable of. But after we're done, I'm going to go meditate again and pull yourself back again. Jordan Peters said, once in your life, you're going to be approached by a psychopath. A psychopath will come for you, because the psychopath thinks that person is an easy game. I should take advantage. It's fun. And how to overcome it? He said, build your own psychopath within yourself and know how to deal with this kind of people. That's not spiritual. No, that is exactly spiritual. Spiritual means you step into these uncomfortable, dark layers within yourself and learn how to use that energy to deal with shady people. Because you have the same qualities within yourself. Me too. At least have it under control.
whatever energy we feed grows. Whatever choice we make enhances that energy, or that more conscious, unshady energy, for lack of a better word. You use shady. I didn't want to use authentic because I feel like when we say authentic, some people are authentically shady or mean.
That is very
And
attractive.
th- but that's the truth of where they're resonating. It's real for them. So what energy are we expanding within ourselves? Because you said we all have everything within us.
There's this man who was an ex-mafia boss, Michael from New York. I don't know if you watch his documentary. He's a public speaker now. So he was an ex-mafia boss. And there is something so attractive about his energy that people feel drawn to him
What do you think that is?
because
Energetic.
you are curious about your own dark side, but you
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
So if someone is really authentic in what they're doing, they're the embodiment of darkness. There's something attractive about them. The Joker or this Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, this psychopath. There is something you are curious about. You want to know. But I would say you're curious about yourself, about your own dark side. You want to express it like them.
I'm not going to comment.
No?
As I listen to you, when I listen to you speak about that, it's that confidence. That's where the word con man comes from. It's that inner confidence that they bring that people are attracted to. I'm sure there are many things, but that's what was coming up for me as I listened to you speak. And that's inviting. That's intriguing. Doesn't always mean it's healthy. It's
No,
curiosity.
it's definitely not healthy. Be careful.
Yeah. And the darkness in the 3D, in our humanness, we all have that dark and that light. And that is actually one of the cool things about being human. We can bring more light to the planet, shine light on the darkness. It's how we learn or experience. Not all of it's pleasant.
Because some people are trapped in this darkness. They don't know how to get out of it. Something took over. They become the embodiment of evil. The scary part is, if it's like they are very intelligent, Catherine. They are so smart. They have a high IQ.
Yeah.
They're so dangerous. And you saw the lots. Married man, good looking, 6 foot, the blonde hair, blue eyes, handsome features, beautiful wife, 2 kids. And then he killed them all.
Yeah.
You hear that a lot.
How does someone, in your experience, because you are masterful with energy, but someone who's not necessarily, how do they discern out there in the world when they come up against or in contact with an energy like that? If it's evil incarnate, really dark energy, or it's just someone going through a facet or a period of a darker energy in them, but they're not always purely dark. How does somebody tell the difference between these people on their path?
You can't. In the beginning, that's why it's called the fool's journey.
Okay.
You don't know. You will face people, they look like normal, dressed well, but they have a very dark side of them. And you won't know it. Some people who are very intuitive, who can see behind these layers. I'm a seer. I can see stuff. When I see them, they know I see them, and that triggers them. Throughout my life, because of this trauma, I had to use my senses on full alert. I was reading, checking everything out. It's just to try to feel safe. That's the reason why I also started with martial arts, learned how to fight. But when it comes to these kind of people, you won't know it. It's almost impossible for some people to know it. They fall into this trap very easily.
So, how do we get out of these traps? Becoming aware. Do we work with our own energy? Do better energy hygiene, energy practices, become more aware, do some ancestral healing, like unlock patterns that are not our own? If we do more of this, does it eventually give us an edge? Can we discern between these energies out in the world or not necessarily?
I'm talking through experience right now.
Okay.
The reason why I started with ancestral healing is I had a landscaping company in Germany. And there was a contractor who was a really shady, dark person. And the way he played this game was extremely manipulative and very sneaky. He used so many other people to surround me because he wanted me to work for him. I was trapped. I was trapped. And I didn't know how did that happen. And the way I got out of it is I fell into this deep, dark place, 2018. And that's the moment where I said, what is going on? That's where I contacted the shaman. I got triggered down to my core.
Okay.
And then the healing work. And that's where I learned real healing is not easy. Sometimes outside events need to take place to push us into these dark places. And you will come out of it. I'm convinced you will come out of it, because then all of a sudden you're full alert. All of a sudden you are smarter. You think different. All of a
That
sudden
life experience can help you.
yes, real life experience is key. Like you can meditate for 100 years, not you find inner peace, all this stuff. But if you want to face these shadow aspects, we need to get out into the world and face challenges. Because what if, and I hope and I pray for it and I'm supporting you, that your podcast gets really big.
It will.
Okay?
It will.
Yes, I believe that. I know it. And we're going to have a studio. You're going to have a studio and I will be guests. People will come for you and try to knock you off.
And I've had that experience, not with this podcast, but in life.
Yes, it will happen. So prepare yourself. Everyone, you want to grow spiritually? Wait for the test. And the test won't be easy. It can't be easy. It needs to hurt you at the sweetest spot where this trauma, which we try to spiritual bypass, gonna explode. And then how do I deal with this information? How do I deal with this emotion? You have to grow. And maybe you grow really fast out of it. Really fast.
Yeah.
If you face it. If you
so
don't
that's key. You got to face it.
Yes. That's why take a new challenge. Have bigger plans. It's like I'm setting up these goals for California, working with actors, teaching actors what shadow work is, how to build the character, find these hidden corners within the character through healing. That's a big challenge for me. Or I make it big. I don't know. Maybe it's not, it's like this.
But it drives you. You have
I
something
have a purpose.
pushes you, whether it's that universe pushing you off the cliff or just that inner
I'm
desire.
going to do it. In the last couple of days, I was attracting lots of script writers on Clubhouse from Los
Nice.
Angeles. It's like it's happening.
Awesome.
So if you don't want to grow, you will die. Because you need this powerful energy that comes through you in order to push these walls. It's like, what is your next objective? You need to go something that scares you, something that it's beyond, I might never get there. Yes, you will get there. It's make the impossible. That's why Islam encourages pray for the impossible. You think it's not going to happen. It will happen.
I'm going to pray for the impossible to be possible.
But then also be careful what you pray for, because God might take you completely apart and restructure you so you can hold this frequency.
Yeah, I've been there. I recently wrote an article, Careful What You Conjure. I totally conjured up a narcissist. I thought I knew what I wanted. And when I got it, there was a darkness underneath that surprised me because I wasn't as clear or as cognizant or as conscious. So I tend to agree with you, to careful what you wish for, have more clarity. And
yes, have more clarity. You want to be a millionaire, for example. I did lots of manifestation. I said, I'm going to have a work site and I'm going to earn 60,000 euro. And I attracted it, a work site. But I had to work my ass off for 2 months in construction to do the landscape. So then I had the money. But people think, oh, it's just some Someone in China is going to write the check and it's end up in your post. Be a little bit realistic, a little bit. God will open doors. Okay, go this direction, give you chances, but you have to put the work in.
Mhm. Let me ask you
It's
one final question then, because we've been chatting for a while about that and about the manifestation and the work part. And circle back to the top of this original conversation, healers that are,
sexuality and spirituality.
yeah, so deeper than the sexuality part of the healers, but the misguidedness of healers or certain information out there who will just tell you, oh, just manifest, don't do anything real or practical, just wish upon a star and it's all going to fall into your lap type of thing. What do you think about that aspect of the healing or spiritual community?
I went into lots of spiritual communities in Vancouver. I went from Y Yoga, Semper Viva Yoga, Bikram Yoga, whatever, Qigong. I was teaching Qigong and Tai Chi, Kundalini Yoga, different meditations, Sufi meditation. I went into all these things for years. It was beautiful, but when you do the real healing and you come out of it, it's like something is not quite right there. Or I grew out of it. Now I don't even have a desire. I would rather practice yoga by myself before I somewhere. Or I would go to India to a real thing. Because spirituality is right now in lots of spiritual communities, you have been misguided.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is like, who created it? I check out the founder. Then I check the person out. What is its purpose? Why do you call it closed community? Some of them, it's like even difficult to get in. What is their intention? What is their objective? Why do they want to separate from one thing, even though spirituality is all one? There's something shady going on, always. And I felt that later on. And I said, okay, I'm done with these spiritual communities. Everyone comes with their traumas. They hug each other. It's all these meshed up energies. I said, okay, I'm done with this. I respect what they're doing, but for me, I'm done with that because I think it's not good what they're doing, some of them. And you're going to feel it.
Too much
You'll know.
enmeshment, too much trauma bonding, not enough forward motion.
Pretending we are a healthy spiritual community. And when you get in, there's always a couple of people who are the leaders. And they won't let anyone grow beyond them.
Mm.
They won't allow it because you're under their control.
And
All
that's
of
the energy of control. And it's cultish. I think the mark of a good leader is someone that allows their people to grow beyond them and encourages it, not do what you were saying in these confined, somewhat dysfunctional communities.
it changed my mood a bit right now when I talked about it because it was like, did I waste all these years? And no, I had a good experience, but the illusion of this, the illusion fell apart. And I said, oh my God, what? But that's how it is.
Right.
It's an illusion. And then when you grow out of it, you look back, you reflect, oh, that was maybe a good experience, but I'm out of it now.
It's just another phase of life that we're in. It circles back to what you said, having more of that non-judgment and that neutrality. I had a wise person once tell me, nothing is wasted. And especially if
Nothing
we can extract the lesson and the gift on these personal growth
And
journeys, it helps
what?
us discern in the future.
Yes. In the past, when I realized what it's all about, I complained about it. But now, if I'm more the observer, I have this experience, but I'm telling young people, have your experience. You will grow out of it. And when you reflect back, you realize it was just an illusion that it was a beautiful illusion, but it's going to also fall apart one day.
Yeah.
It's like everything else going to fall apart. So be careful to anyone, which community you enter, check out the founder, the creator, and use your intuition.
I appreciate you shining some light on and reminding people to trust their intuition. Really, if they get the spidey sense or whatever's going on, that maybe this is not the best path for me, to trust that and figure out what is, or allow the energy of what is next for you to come through. Fatih, I always enjoy speaking to you. I learned so much about you and about your work and about energy. Thank you for being here. It's such a delight. So I'm honored.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you to our listeners for your time, your energy, and your presence. If you resonated with this episode, if you resonated with Fatih's energy, check him out. His links are in the comments below. And like this episode, subscribe to the channel, or share it with someone who would benefit from this information. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.